Hello everyone! Traditionally it's me Pavlo, and today we'll be talking about a really interesting release. It's FiiO and Jade Audio JM21. It's an Android player and it's a pretty affordable one. Price is about $200. I've got it from AliExpress for 180, so price even can be a little lower than that. Maybe in some countries it will be a little higher, but anyway, it's a pretty affordable segment. But at the same time, FiiO actually made a step forward because now it's built with Android 13 and Snapdragon 680, which is not super new, but definitely newer than all previous solutions of this company, and it utilizes dual 43 198 chips from the Cirrus Logic, which is pretty interesting, and it has a pretty powerful amplifier. And on top of that, of course, don't forget about Bluetooth, streaming services, and all that stuff that Android offers. So, pretty interesting to see FiiO's return to the affordable segment and return with a fully functional feature-packed device. So, let's have a closer look. Package is pretty minimalistic, but at the same time straightforward. Accurate white cardboard with photo of the device, model name, all three FiiO brands listed here. They included new Snow Sky brand. Hope I will review Snow Sky products in some near future. They look pretty nice. And inside we getting also accurate and nice package. So we getting the device itself, and in the box with accessories, actually we getting just one accessory and a lot of papers. So you'll get USB Type-A to USB Type-C cable. But thanks to FiiO, they've included two other necessary things in the accessory set. First, you getting this silicone half case, and also they have a screen protector applied at factory. So let me check it. Yep, I can definitely feel it. So they applied the screen protector film, so you can use it safely without worrying about the durability. Also, vegan leather case and protector glass are available as separate purchase. I actually ordered them, but they were not sent from China yet. Probably they stuck in China for the holidays, and I'll get them somewhere in February. But we'll see. I like this FiiO's new approach to the design. They found this good combination of colors with cyan and silver. A bit of retro in terms of style, but at the same time it looks pretty neat and distinguish FiiO products really well. So they found this combination with their CP13 and utilize in many other devices. In terms of design, player is pretty minimalistic, very utilitarian. You can see that it has a kind of a big screen, not the biggest one and not as big as modern smartphones, but I'd say that screen is sufficient enough in terms of size for the modern player. They made the front frame from aluminum, this cyan part, and the silver back part is made of plastic. It's pretty nice plastic, but nothing to be complained about. And I like this pattern, so really adds a bit of extra grip. So we have here LED indicator, volume control buttons, and the power on off button. All buttons are nicely clickable and works rather well. Here we have three different buttons for the playback control. I'd like to see some bump here, but it's not here yet. But buttons are nice and clicky. My only complaint is that they put on-off button on the left side. I kinda used to button on the right side under the thumb, and I'm always hitting this previous track button, but it's a matter of usage. Then micro SD slot here, Then we have this part for attaching lanyard, and actually it's another my complaint. I'd really like to see some branded lanyard in the accessory set. I don't know why FiiO didn't add it. On the bottom we have balanced output and single-ended. Also here is USB Type-C. It can be used for charging and all other things that we used to get from the player. And speaking of charging, actually I have seen some complaints about battery life, and I did some tests. For me, it gave about 10 plus hours from the single-ended output and about 8 hours for the balanced output. But of course, it will depend on whether Wi-Fi is on or off, on screen brightness, how often you will use the screen, and so on. So a lot of aspects here. So battery lifetime is not superb, but it's definitely pretty okay in my opinion. Build quality is really good, nothing is shaking, nothing is rattling, so nice solid build. Screen is almost edge to edge, maybe not maximum, but pretty okay. Brightness is sufficient, so even under the bright studio lights it remains pretty visible. Viewing angles are nice, and actually I like the size of the screen they utilized here. So I can reach with thumb almost anywhere on the screen, so this makes this player really comfortable. Also, I like that it's pretty pocketable. This plastic rear side makes it more lightweight. It's really light. And also FiiO made it really slim, so it fits nicely into jeans pocket or something like that. So I hope we are getting back to the era of pocketable players. In terms of firmware, this device symbolizes a noticeable step forward for FiiO. It's the first device that uses Snapdragon 680 and the first device that uses Android 13. Maybe we'll see some other devices being upgraded to Android 13, but that's not certain so far. As you can see, here we have Snapdragon 680, two digital to analog converters, 43198, battery capacity, screen resolution. Actually, all specifications are pretty normal for the modern player. And it's basically open Android with Play Store available, with bypassing of resampling here for the external applications. For example, I've installed Apple Music to try it, and as you can see, it even shows that it's playing in high resolution. So this is here, and in the drop-down menu we have some audio controls like mode selector, Android mode, pure music mode, AirPlay receiver, USB digital to analog converter mode, and Bluetooth receiver. Actually, pure music mode is almost the same as Android. The only difference is that you're not getting access to the launcher. You're not getting some extra sound quality or something like that. It's just a matter of convenience. Also, you can select one of three levels of gains, and you can select the role of these two outputs. Balanced out can be headphones output and line out, and 3.5mm can work as headphones output, line out, and coaxial output, which is pretty nice. I didn't test that, but it should work as it mentioned. And basically here we're getting some duplication of these things. Main point of interest, of course, audio settings. You can select here gain, also functionality of outs, low pass filter mode, which one you like more, but actually there won't be huge difference. Bluetooth audio encoder, as you can see, a lot of different codecs are supported here, and LDAC codec quality. Then Bluetooth volume adjustment mode, should it sync or not. Should volume on line out be adjustable and automatically pause when headphones are not connected. And in the display, you can also select additional settings like dark theme. Actually, I like it, so let it be brightness level, indicator LED here, night light. As you can see, some player-related things are also mixed with system ones. But basically, just Android. You can install whatever you want, like streaming media, I don't know, YouTube and stuff like that. And also you'll get FiiO Music. Recently FiiO did a logical step and they removed FiiO Control from FiiO Music. So now it's two absolutely separate applications. I won't do any deep dive into FiiO Music. It's familiar for many Android player with all modern functionality like media library with files management, lot of grouping types and stuff like that. Playlists, customs, favorites also here. Basic access to network features, and here you can get Wi-Fi music transport, some test features. Also you can remote control it. You can get parametric equalizer here and linear or parametric. No system-wide equalizer, at least so far, but you can adjust it in the application. Also, you can select here channel balance. So a lot of different options what to do with your sound. FiiO constantly improving and updating the player. They understand that it's a main part of their ecosystem, and it's one of the most feature-packed software players so far, and it works pretty well. In terms of firmware, I think player is good. I didn't encounter any big issues, at least in my use case scenarios, because of course I'm just mainly listening to music and I'm not doing some Android stuff here. But basic functionalities here works really okay. FiiO already debugged their code base and it's pretty efficient. For the new player, FiiO decided to go with a slightly colored signature. But you know, in last 10 years, even the meaning of colored signature changed a lot. 10 years ago, when some player had colored signature, that often meant that overall sound was shifted towards some side. Some players were really bright, others preferred to boost dynamics and emotions to sometimes even ridiculous amounts. There were really dark and warm sounding players. Now when we're speaking about sound coloration, it's just a slight and small nuance, like a hint of added coloration to make everything a bit spicier, but of course not overdone. And JM21 is not an exception here. It's overall technical player with slight hint of added weight and warmth. It's not warm, actually I can't call it, really warm. I can't call it really colored, but still a bit of that nuances is present, and that makes sound a bit more organic and for many tracks more engaging. But probably let's speak about everything in more detail step by step. So bass go really deep. It has nice resolution, not superb, but pretty nice. It's good in rendering textures. It's sometimes on some audiophilic recordings it's lacking a bit of small nuances, but not too much. Still, instrument sounds pretty realistic, and that additional weight in low frequency area doesn't make low frequency instruments sound bloated or shifted, moved towards the listener. No, control of low frequencies is good, and overall balance between the punch and rumble and weight maintained really well, making this player pretty universal in this aspect. So basically you can select headphones or earphones to your liking without caring much about the sound of the player. And first example, it's David Gilmour, The Girl in the Yellow Dress. A bit relaxed tune that really benefits of this slightly added warmth, because here we have acoustic bass, we having a saxophone that goes pretty low to the bass area, and that saturated low frequencies really sound engaging and captivating. And another example, it's Snarky Puppy, Beep Box. This track is built on the contrast between deep going bass line, really deep hitting, and at the same time airy percussions and some kind of electronic beeping effects, like name suggests. And this player maintains the contrast really well, so bass is not shadowing mids and treble and vice versa. Mid frequencies are natural, almost uncolored. They have slight hint of sound that often referred as analog, but not too much. Actually, really good, healthy amount of micro contrast, but not oversaturated. So small nuances and details are present, but player doesn't make an accent on this part of music. But at the same time, you're getting good sense of realism, both for instruments and the vocal. Also, it doesn't boost upper mids and the overall presence area, so it doesn't sound too sharp or oversaturated. Imaginary stage is above average in width and slightly less than width in depth. Not super huge, but really accurately and neatly built. Of course, depth layering could be better, but probably for this price tier it's more than okay. It's not sorry, critical for the quality of record, but at the same time, of course, you can try different masterings and different releases. It will be responsive for that. And at the same time, it's not super critical for the poorly recorded material. If you have something in MP3 or you're using some streaming services like Spotify, there won't be big issues with lossy compression. So pretty forgiving in this aspect. First example for the mid frequencies, it's Scorpions, A Moment in a Million Years, and I selected this track mainly because of Klaus' main vocal. In terms of musical accompaniment, it's pretty simple thing, mainly just keyboards playing, but vocal is really stellar, emotional, really unique in terms of timbre and overall character. But what sense of describing it? If you heard Scorpions, you understand what I'm talking about. And actually, this player is really decent in representing this emotional and signature vocal. And another track starts slowly, but develops to a more aggressive one. It's Cemetery Gates by Pantera. I wanted to try how player will behave with aggressive and energetic music of Pantera. To my taste, I'd prefer a bit sharper signature, but in general, I'm not lacking definition, clarity, and aggression. Just a bit more would be nice, but this is also really decent. And the vocal sounds nice, and the guitars, so of course some more expensive players will do better, but we're speaking about $200, and for that price I'm really impressed. Treble is honest. It has nice extension, maybe not super extended, but noticeably above average. It's lacking layering compared to more expensive players once again. But actually, for this tire, for this price, I think treble is really good. It's not oversaturated, it's a bit polite, but at the same time not over softened. It's present, it's deliver nice clarity. Both basic and more extended overtone sounds good, and attacks and decays are properly developed. And overall treble sounds pretty airy, but not fatiguing to my ears. So if you won't compare it with something more audiophilic, you will be absolutely satisfied. So first example, it's Sara K, Weeping Post, typical audiophilic recording. So if we'll go nitpicking, we can say about slightly lacking layering, but in general, nice rendering of all instruments hitting in the treble area. And Mountains by Hans Zimmer. I really like Interstellar soundtrack, and I like Mountings especially. It has this, probably it's metronome ticking, but to me this sound reminds drops of water, and that sound effect is recorded with a lot of high frequency overtones, and then when orchestral parts appears, it also saturated with different treble overtones. Of course, it's also lacking layering a bit. I mean, player, of course, about these earphones I will tell you in one of next videos. But still sounds pretty impressive, with good amount of airness and with good sense of orchestra. In terms of pairings, it's a pretty powerful device. I honestly don't know why FiiO decided to make amplification that powerful. It can drive a lot of models, maybe except of some really power-hungry full-size planars. But of course, with really high impedance and tough to drive models, battery will be drained pretty fast. From another hand, if you decide to move something demanding, at least it will allow you to do that without big problems. So probably it's good to have some extra. From another hand, with sensitive in-ear monitors, it exposes almost a dead silent background on the low gain. I've heard some complaints about background noise with sensitive in-ear monitors on higher gains and balanced output, but I tried it with Campfire Audio Andromeda, so my solution here: don't plug it to the balanced output and you won't be exposed to the high level of noise. In terms of interference, I didn't experience any, but I suspect it depends on Wi-Fi band selected, maybe depend on router and stuff like that. I didn't face any issues here, so pretty universal in terms of pairings. Speaking about the conversions, first one probably worth mentioning here is FiiO KA15 dongle digital to analog converter, because they use pretty similar internal components, but JM21 offers better control and slightly more dynamic sound, maybe because of built-in battery, maybe because of slightly different tuning, I don't know. While they have slightly similar signature, JM21 does it a bit better. FiiO BTR17 that I reviewed recently, they are in the similar price range. But BTR17 is slightly better in terms of treble layering. It's slightly more dynamic, more refined in terms of sound. So if you're looking for pure sound quality, maybe BTR will be a better option for you, because JM21 is still a full-featured player, while in BTR17 you're losing screen and internal CPU and stuff like that. So it's a matter of your use cases and scenarios. High-bit digital M300 is similarly priced Android player, but probably is not a competitor here, because sound-wise this one is a bit better, more defined, more refined, with better staging. M300 will give you better battery lifetime, but it's targeted towards a different audience. It has built-in microphone, speaker and stuff like that. And probably the main competitor here is Hibi R4. So you can see the difference in size. So JM21 is more pocketable, while R4 is bulkier, bigger and thicker. But it has more metal in design, but also some plastic inserts here. So which one looks better? I don't know. It's a matter of subjective taste. I have my preference, but it's just my subjective taste. Probably it's someone will like more strict design, other can prefer this one better. It has more battery lifetime and it has a bit less power, but in general about the same amount. I don't think it will be a big difference in real life. In terms of sound signature, this one is slightly more natural and slightly more focused on the micro contrast, while this one is a bit more relaxed and a bit more musical. So I can't say that one is definitely better than another. It's more a matter of taste. But to summarize everything, FiiO decided to return to the affordable player segment, and they did it in a great way. I really like that they released JM21. I really hope that it will get more attention and will get more affordable players in near future. Thank you for listening, thank you for your attention, and of course have a great day.